Oh, hang on. Bear with. My phone's got it, so I've got it. So, this is a first, right? On the Mother and Daughter Breast of Friends podcast, because there are certain people that are so instrumental behind everything that we do and everything that we are able to do. And you can never get them on a camera. You can never get them on a microphone. But today, look who we've got. We've got our gorgeous Peter from Graysons Solicitors, who, by the way, thank you so much for everything that you've done for us and for the podcast so far.
Thank you for the opportunity, Becky.
No, seriously. Yeah. And I think, we're going to be delving into a lot more things when it comes to sort of what help you may need from these guys particularly, and also what makes these guys different from any other legal firm when it comes to talking about hereditary breast cancer and all the things that you need to have in order. Peter, thank you for inviting me to this wonderful event tonight here at the Botanical Gardens in Sheffield.
Glad you could come.
I'm disappointed because I didn't realise you were doing karaoke after.
Well, actually, I've not been invited to the karaoke, but I might gate crash it. Yeah.
Well, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous event. It's the Arts in the Gardens, isn't it? I can't believe I've never been here before.
Yeah.
Who's your artist that's in there?
The artist we have a strong connection with is Alan Pennington.
Yeah.
And we met Alan, who's a Sheffield lad, about 7 years ago when we moved offices. And we commissioned him to do some Sheffield scenes in his own very unique style. And those are hanging in the office now. He's also done our Chesterfield office, and our Hathersage office is next.
Amazing. Because they're very... I mean, I bet he hates this, but they are quite Pete McKee-esque, aren't they? In a respect, but he's got his own spin on it.
He's got his own stamp on it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was chatting with Laura, who again you've met on the podcast already, but you're going to meet again. She's so delicious, isn't she? Isn't she lovely?
She is. She is. She's a great asset to our firm and to all the clients we work for.
She honestly, she's and I can't wait to introduce you to her even more, because I think we're going to be touching on something that you don't want to talk about, and people don't want to talk about, but getting your sort of wills in order and just getting your, your finances, etc., all in order, it's so important. But also you need to be with somebody that understands it and that has a sensitivity. And Laura's taken massive interest in what we're doing and how it works. I can't wait to introduce you to Laura even more. But, by being at events like this, some people would sort of say, well, why do you want to be here? Why would you want to be as part of an art exhibition? But already, for me, can I tell you this? For me, just being here in the last half an hour, a lady's come over to me, got hereditary breast cancer in the family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just typical, in that this is everywhere. And we had a lovely chat, and she's taken away leaflets about the podcast, and she's taken leaflets away about Wendy's World. For her, she's away from making any kind of decisions because unfortunately she has breast cancer, but we always think about the next generation, and what we can do for them. So for me, it's already worked. What was your thoughts on sort of being here?
Well, we've been here now. This is the 6th year, and it started off because we were invited to do it, but we'd been looking for something to do that was community based. Got an interest in the arts, so this seemed an ideal thing, and it's gone from there.
Yeah.
And now is a much bigger thing for us, and a nice feeling for us to be associated with the event, and so nice that the events team at the council want us back.
Amazing. And you know what, things like this as well, I always say there's a few things in life that can make people feel at ease, and big one is music, and we've got that in the background, and the second one is creativity. Creativity breeds creativity, but it also breaks down barriers. So being at an event like this, and I was chatting with Laura earlier, and she said we've already had somebody come over who wasn't expecting to ever need a solicitor, but in this last week has lost 3 people.
Yeah.
And is really thinking that they need to write a will. And they've come to this event tonight and they're having a beautiful time. They've been greeted by your team with a glass of Prosecco and some beautiful art. I felt comfortable enough to ask that question. And that, I think, for me is a huge point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good, and for some people that's a way in.
Yeah. Instead of picking up a phone or
That's right.
having to think about sending an email, you know, it's amazing. Well, you are going to be joining me on for a full podcast.
Yes, looking forward to that.
Is that you weren't expecting it in the first instance, were you?
I wasn't expecting it tonight, but very glad you're here and happy to talk.
No, and we're super grateful to you guys for helping us out, because if it wasn't for our sponsors and it wasn't for the people, you know, like yourselves and Westfield Health, etc., that helped to make this happen, the amount of emails I've had, you know, that have simply said, this has changed the course of action of my life. Yeah. It's down to you.
Yeah.
So thank you for helping us do that.
That's great to know, and you know, we really admire what you're doing and what Wendy's doing, and very happy to help as best we can.
Thank you so much. And as I've mentioned as well, what is going to be absolutely amazing, and do watch this space. So Professor Barwell, who you've met on many of these episodes, many of you will have spoke to him as well on the helpline. Many of you have probably benefited hugely from his expert advice. You know, he's sort of king in his field. Julian as well has offered to come in and talk to these guys, to have direct contact with their clinical negligence teams, also regarding as well what people might have to expect and what they might need from a legal firm. And it's brilliant to have the likes of our professors as well guiding Graysons, or literally being on tap basically for you guys to be able to pick up the phone to, should you need any direct advice, considering that things change all the time and the different things that people need to look out for change all the time. And for me, that gives me a great source of comfort, because we know that we are just adding to this whole community basically of giving you every single bit of support, no matter what your choice. Thank you.
Yeah.